A new study reveals half of the people charged with crimes in San Francisco and released from jail before their trial were accused of committing a new crime while they were free in recent years. The study was done by California Policy Lab, that's based at UC Berkeley and UCLA, and evaluated 9,000 people between 2016 and 2019.
KRON 4's Taylor Bisacki joins us live in San Francisco tonight with more on this. Taylor.
Well, in light of this new study, San Francisco Supervisor Catherine Stefani introduced new legislation at today's Board of Supervisors meeting. Through this legislation, she hopes to require more extensive reporting of court appearances and reoffense rates. More than half of people charged with crimes and released from jail before their trials in San Francisco were accused of committing a new crime while free, and a similar share failed to appear in court in recent years. That's according to this new study done by California Lab Policy, based at UC Berkeley and UCLA. Additionally, 1 in 6 defendants allegedly went on to commit a new violent offense, according to the study's findings from May 2016 to December 2019. In Tuesday's Board of Supervisors meeting, Catherine Stefani referenced the study while introducing new legislation.
This study also validates the experiences of people in San Francisco who are extremely concerned about crime, but are constantly told there's nothing to worry about. 55% of those on pretrial release reoffend before trial. More troubling, individuals with the most serious and violent offenses reoffend 74% of the time.
The study was done to validate the Public Safety Assessment, or PSA, pretrial tool in San Francisco. It's used to make recommendations to judges on whether or not to release individuals prior to trial. Author of the report, Joanna Lako, explains another component of the study.
To see if the tool seems to treat people differently, either by race, ethnicity, or sex. And we do find that some evidence of bias in how the tool is performing right now in San Francisco. It seems to be similar to how the tool is performing in other places.
While Lako agrees the bias needs to be addressed, she says the study concluded that the tool was a fair to good predictor of flight and repeat offenses. Supervisor Stefani accused some judges in the city of ignoring this tool and releasing individuals anyways. Stefani's now pushing for more extensive reporting of court appearances and reoffense rates.
Today, I am calling on the city attorney's office to draft legislation that would, 1, require pretrial to report pretrial safety and appearance rates for the entire duration of the pretrial release period, including breakdowns by PSA score and release type, and to include out-of-county new offenses. Require reports every time a judge releases an individual, even when the PSA, which is done by pretrial, recommends that the judge not release an individual, and then a report on what happens as a result of that release.
Now we know San Francisco crime and the DA have made national headlines recently, but to be clear, this study was done before Chesa Boudin took office. Also, the author of the study says that in 70% of these cases, the judges did follow those recommendations. Also, the data didn't include many of those defendants with low-level crimes who just received a citation. Right now, we're live in San Francisco. Taylor Bisacki, KRON 4 News.
Thank you.